Hello, welcome to today's Crucible Gold. If you're tucked up on the couch, stay well, stay warm, and why not stay with us as we take you back to the climax of the final from 2016. Mark Selby had beaten Ronnie O'Sullivan 2 years previously, and he was at it again, a fantastic run to the final, beating Kyron Wilson in the quarters and Marco Fu in the semis. He was 6-0 up early on against first-time finalist Ding Junhui, and from there the jester really began to motor. As we join it, he's leading 14-11, closing in on world title number 2.
China's national hero, Ding Junhui! Comes Leicester's world number 1, Mark Selby!
Possible 10 more frames to be played this evening in Sheffield's Crucible Theatre on what is always one of the great occasions in sport. So settle back and soak it all in, along with Ken Doherty and John Virgo. Good evening.
Good evening, Hazel. Good evening, everybody. And, well, the way, or the reception that Ding Junhui got, I think Sheffield is an adopted son here, Ken.
Absolutely. Yeah, great reception for Ding, and indeed for Mark Selby. And what a wonderful atmosphere, John. There's nothing quite like coming down those stairs for the last session of the World Championship. What a buzz for both players.
Thank you, ladies and gents. The 26th frame, Mark Selby to break.
Mark Selby gets this final session underway. Goes without saying that Ding Junhui needs a good start.
Cameras and the phones away now, please.
Starting this final session 3 frames behind. But the subtle difference, Ken, here now, the end is in sight, isn't it? When you play these long session matches, we've already had 3 sessions. It's hard to see the winning line, just sometimes trying to just keep your opponent at bay. But now every shot will count, and the first mistake, long pot missed, left a chance for Mark Selby.
Yeah. There's the attempt again on the long red. Normally very proficient at that particular shot. Left an easy opener for Mark Selby, and he's nicely on the blue. Good one. And he finished off the last session in great style, particularly when it was put up to him, John. I mean, every time that Ding has asked a question, Mark Selby has somehow found the answer.
Yes, a couple of times he's got within 1 frame, and then you think, is he going to level it? But as you say, Mark's come out and he's finished perfect on this red now. Just pot it. Cannon the red next to black. And
7.
Potting this black, plays for the red, he's just cannon into the right corner. Black will be available into both pockets. Good chance.
I would have liked to have been a bit straighter on this red. Just had a quick look at the pink into the left centre. Still a couple of loose reds after his next colour.
15.
Pink won't spot So it goes directly well, obviously the yellow's spot is available, so that's okay.
21.
Not quite sure whether he'll go into the pack or not here. He's got a couple of loose reds. It'll be interesting to see what he'll do here.
Yeah, I don't think it's the type of pack you'd want to go in from the black. It's what our colleague Willie Thorne calls the flat back pack. So maybe choose to go into them off the blue. Might not be a bad idea here on this red into the
29.
left corner pocket. Go up for the blue and play the cannon. Always having the option of that red to the right middle. 70 points the target to get to snooker's required. So still a way to go.
Well, he's looking at down the line of trying to go into the pack, but he could have done with the cue ball being a couple of inches towards the balk line. It's not a great angle on the blue. I'll have to force it in. Well, didn't have the angle at all and just lost the cue ball slightly.
35.
Must, when putting this red into the right centre, must get a good angle on the blue. Looks a lot better.
He's got the perfect angle on the blue, but this time he hasn't got a red in the open that he could be on if this break into the reds doesn't work. But he's played it lovely. Controlled cannon. The only thing is, he's got the red over the left corner.
41.
But he's going to be slightly hampered. If it's a natural angle, fine. If he has to do a little bit with the cue ball, could be a problem.
Well, he's got a nice angle on the black. He can go into the reds and the loose red together and still hold for the red just above the black. Well, he just played into the loose red on its own. Didn't take the chance, but he's still in prime position. He's just having a look at the red that's closest
49.
to the pink spot. See, will that pot as well? I think it does. There you see.
50.
Yes, and if you could get 3 reds, 3 blacks, you wouldn't have to play any more cannons, and he's got a couple of loose reds to play for. Misjudged that.
57. Touching ball.
I think he's still on the red to the right middle, but it's not exactly how he played it. Well, can he not get through? I'm sure he can get through to the one that's closest to the right centre pocket.
Yeah, the fact that it's touching ball, John, if that red moves, just the one that's touching, of course, that would be a push shot. So he's got to be careful here, and the referee has got to have his eyes peeled. No.
Well, would you believe it? We say this game's over 57. The fractions didn't favour Mark Selby there. Can't believe he wasn't on that red. Hit it too thick, so he just couldn't hit enough of it. was risky. That was too risky, surely. He's gifted the frame now, surely, to Mark Selby.
Well, that was a bit of a nervy one from Ding, and just the way he played it. Didn't expect the cue ball to be this side of the blue.
1.
And nicely on the black, you can... He's having a look at whether he'll risk the cannon into the 4 reds.
Yeah, this black will put him 65 points in front with 75 remaining. So this red and a colour will get him past the winning line in this
8.
frame. He's chose
9.
the blue, which will put him 71 points in front with just 67 remaining.
Played it
14.
beautifully, nicely controlled. Didn't have to play it with any
15.
pace, just catch that red full ball, and good start for Mark Selby.
$22. 23. $30. 31.
And now we just got a glimpse of tournament total points. And Mark Selby
38.
has just gone 3 points in front. Amazing, isn't it? But
39.
more importantly, he's now going to have a 4-frame advantage. He didn't win the frame at one visit, and he gave Ding Junhui half a chance.
46.
As Ken said, he played it very nervily. Red didn't go in, but Mark Selby, I think a few shots were going, was rather get the ball set up for the next frame. He's now 4 clear. More importantly, just 3 frames away from his 2nd world title.
Is there a fight back to come?
Well, if there is a fight back to come, it's got to start very soon, John. He has fought back tremendously well already in this final, from 6-0 down, looking like it was going to go 7-0 at one stage, and he's shown tremendous character so far, but he's got to really dig deep now, Ding, if he's got to have a chance of lifting that beautiful trophy tonight.
Yes, there it is. 1997. That was in your hands, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was a touch too thick, but well, they may be the end red may cut, but I don't think he can play it, because if he played it, he may run into the red near the top cushion, so he's going to just play a safety shot. He's played some good safety as Ding, but that first frame there, he looked very nervous, and he's just got to shake the shackles off here and just concentrate, because there's no backward steps here. He's got to play well if he's going to get anything out of this match. Excellent safety though. Well played.
Yeah, of course, he's going to feel a little bit of nerves. Well, the safety has been good. I mean, safety success in the tournament has been 84% from Ding Junhui and 82% from Mark Selby.
was, but we may see Ding Junhui take this red onto the right corner. The black is available into the opposite corner. It's a big shot, but they're all big shots now. He's got to start knocking these in. He knows it. Can he raise his game? Tried to edge his bets by screwing back to the baulk end, but the ready played is creeping up and has somehow finished in the middle of the table. I'm sure he thought if he got in the jaws of the pocket he wouldn't leave it, but he has.
Type of shots right in the heart of the pocket, they certainly give you a lift. And he's got to play a good positional shot. Brown would be perfect off 3 cushions for the 2 reds above the black. This looks pretty good. Excellent positional shot.
Six.
Well, he's just contemplating, will he go into the pack of reds? He's got a few reds available, but he has a nice angle on the black. He's blessed with a lot of cue power. He's playing top of the cue ball, so that will tell us he's not going into the pack at this stage.
$13. $14.
Well, I'm sure he played for the blue. And he didn't really get into the cue ball. He's on the yellow, but looks to be pretty straight. Got to judge this positional shot well. Well, that'll do nicely, thank you.
$16. Sure. 17.
Yeah, heavy contact again. He's had a few kicks in this match. Took the pace out of the cue ball. Wanted to be top side of the blue. Below the blue line, wanted to be a bit left of that line. We can drop the blue in or take the brown. Brown is a bit more pressure on, a bit of a tougher pot.
Well, that to me shows a sign of a man who's growing in confidence.
21.
No hesitation. Okay, he could have done with running this cue ball with a foot, but still nicely on this red. He'll be playing for the blue. But he hasn't got the angle, he's not hit it.
22.
Now it'd be a brave man to play the brown and try and cannon into the reds.
I'm not quite sure whether he has the angle here, but needs a tremendous amount of power on right hand side. Oh, he's got it nice as he got a good kiss. Oh, great effort. Great attempt. Just couldn't generate Off par in the cue
Touch and
ball.
Mark Selby, 27.
That's a clever little shot. Okay, but just a trace aside, so when it come off the baulk cushion, it just moved behind the green. I think Ding Junhui is snookered on all the reds. He's looking to come off one cushion and lay on this red near the top cushion, but surely, Ken, there's a big target just to the right of the pink as we look, just to nestle into.
Yeah, just put a line in there. I mean, if the problem about trying to get on the red as close to the top cushion, you could go by it and leave him a possible pot, but the target is, as you said, the pack of reds. It's a bit short.
Foul.
He's looking down the line there. You just saw Ding Junhui just having a look at the line as the cue ball stumbled to a stall, to a halt, I should say. He has the line already, but that is the target. It is a big target, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just worried that he might slip by, and that's why he had a quick look how it was coming off the second cushion. And he seemed to have the line okay, just needs a bit more pace. But he cannot afford to slide by them. He'd leave a certain red on if he did. More pace. Don't want to slide by it. It's okay. Or is it? Is there a gap there? He's come round. Is there a gap for this red to go? Do you know, I think there is. I think he can play this with a tracer left-hand side and just turn this red over. So he's playing with lots of left-hand side. This is on. This is on. Well, I won't be striking down like this, but doing this, can he be on a colour? I wouldn't have played it like that. And he's left nothing. He's been fortunate there. To me, the slower you play that shot, the more chance you got of getting the side to turn the second red over.
Yeah, totally agree. He could have played it a little follow through, a bit of left-hand side, and got on the black. He was reluctant to play that type of shot.
But left nothing. Good cue ball. I think Ding will be sat there mighty relieved because he looked to see if there was a gap for that red to be potted and he thought it was on. So the fact that he's got back to the table immediately, he didn't leave anything, he'll be very pleased.
Yeah, there's his reaction. He probably thought, as you said, well, he suggested that he thought he left that red for Mark Selby. But he's played a very, very good safety shot there. There's Mark in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's one of those where you more or less force him, Mark, into playing the pot here. And this red does pass the black. But sometimes, if there's no safety, you might as well try and pot your way out of trouble. I think he's eyeing the pot up. Tough one.
It was extremely tough. Oh, didn't want that. Didn't want the cue ball going into the pack and came right across that. Just hoping to avoid the pack of reds. And what a chance now for Ding.
Well, that's a couple of shots there that Mark has played, and I'm surprised he played it so firm. I mean, if he'd have played it more or less dead weight, the only red he could leave was the one he was playing. So what a chance now for Ding Junhui. And he needs to take these. I know that goes without saying, but he's got to up his game now and score heavily at these visits. Under hit it, but I think he's okay. He can stun up for the blue.
8.
He's got to keep tight control of that cue ball to make the game easier.
Nine. $14. $15.
Nicely on the blue again. Doesn't have to play any cannons. I'm certain one of these two reds just below the pink is available to the right corner. And if not one of them, certainly one of the others. But he looks to have played that inch perfect. Now he's in control of the cue ball.
20.
Can he take advantage?
$21.
He's got a slight angle on the black. I'm just wondering, will he play the cannon on the two reds below the black here, John?
I think he is. It's risky. It's risky. But he's played it absolutely perfect, and now the frame is there at his mercy. I don't think he wanted to play that shot this early, but he landed so well on the black, he had to take the chance.
29.
This black will put him 5 points in front.
Yes, and that wonderful cannon has brought those two safe reds into play, of course, and set up an
36.
opportunity now, and that would certainly make him feel good. He's just having a quick look to see, will the red that's close to the pink, will that pot?
$37.
$13 points to lead now. These four remaining reds. And that will be
44.
the frame in the bag.
45.
$21 ahead now, 51 remaining.
52.
Two reds, two blacks would put him to the snooker's required stage. Maybe he doesn't fancy playing for the black, but if he goes up for the blue, he'll need the three remaining reds. He's just having a quick glance at the scoreboard.
Yeah, sort of. His body language would suggest that the red just below the pink doesn't pot. He's just wondering about his angle
53.
on his next colour. Now he has a nice angle on the black. He could make a cannon on the red and pink, but he could still try and track the loose red as well. But he has a nice angle. Needs a good cannon. Needs a good kiss.
Can he get past the pink? He's unlucky if he can't.
60.
I don't think he can. I do not think he can. Just a fraction more run on that cue ball. Sometimes you can convince yourself that you can get to the potting angle. Looks very tight.
No, I think it's too risky. He's having to, would have to play it with a lot of right hand side.
360.
And he'll be disappointed with the safety shot. He was disappointed he wasn't on the red. And I'm sorry to say, it affected his next shot. That was not a good safety. Mark Selby knocks this red in. We could have a new favourite for this frame.
Good attempt. May have thought that was in the minute he hit it. It was very close.
Look on his face, I think he did. And sometimes you can play that halfway there, you think you've potted it. This is a good safety shot. Better length with the cue ball this time. Not saying he's not left a pot on, he certainly has, but it's a tough one. But at this standard, just any sniff of a pot, if your opponent knocks it in, could cost you the frame. Not there. Now, where's the red running? Where's the cue ball going? Hand up to apologise. He's got away with it. This is where you just got to keep your focus, your self-control. He's not had the best of luck the last couple of visits, hasn't Ding Junhui. But don't let it affect your next shot. He's having a look here. May play the cross double. By Mark Selby. Hit this red thin off the right hand side cushion, aiming towards the left middle pocket. It's not far away. Is it going to bounce and be on a ball colour?
One.
It is.
Nicely worked out shot. He's got a nice angle on the green as we see the back cross double. If he pots the green into the top right hand corner pocket, the natural angle of the cue ball will be going towards the red.
Sure. 3.
So this red, any colour, and the 6 remaining colours for the frame. A frame that looked all over. Ding Junhui was going to win it. He played the cannon on the red just behind the pink. Just another roll of the cue ball. It had been frame over. This was the one. It looked for all the world he was going to be on the red. And he just needed another roll. Now he's got to sit there and wonder. And he'll be feeling the worst now. 4. We have a new favourite for this frame.
Excellent pot on the red. Just come too straight on the blue. As we see the red again. Just got into the cue ball. Too much, so he's going to have to just drop the blue in and play the yellow from mid-distance. I would say that this would possibly be Ding's only hope.
9.
He puts this and gets on the green. Excellent shot, but again,
11.
got into the cue ball a little bit too much. Just a little bit of adrenaline, a bit of tension in the back arm.
Green right in the middle of the pocket, but once again, he's just overrun slightly. Now, I always think
14.
that the key to this clearance, to make it easier, is this positional shot now from brown to blue. If he gets perfect on the blue, it's a formality.
$18.
There's Wifey, keep deep breaths. He's not perfect on the blue. He needs to come on and off the top cushion. But he's perfect now.
23.
He's inch perfect now.
Oh, this will hurt Ding. He had the frame almost in the bag, and a couple of long pots that Mark Selby missed. Came out a little bit lucky, didn't leave Ding another chance, and that back cross double, as you quite rightly pointed out, John, that's what's given him this opportunity, and what a frame to steal.
Whoa. He's not on it.
29.
I thought he'd have just dropped it in off one cushion. He's tried to make the black easier by coming off across for the black in the same pocket as the pink, just to leave himself an easier black. Well, he's looking at the cut. Best of luck with this one.
Wow, this is tough.
It's only there. Absolutely superb. What a clearance, and Ding Junhui must be wondering now what he's got to do to win a frame. And now Mark Selby, he's in comfort zone, you would think. He leads by 16 frames to 11.
So Mark Selby breaks off in this 28 frame to become champion of the world for the second time. I'm just looking at Ding Junhui in the chair, John. Was it a look of resignation, or just sort of a little bit numb after losing that frame? He thought he had it in the bag, and what a black Selby pulled out there.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there was a few times, well, particularly on the black, that he thought, I'll get back in here. Well, that's not a bad little rub. And the fact that he looked very closely to see he's left the red, as we see that black again, I mean, that was amazing. I mean, he made it look easy, but it was so thin. And he played it with the trace aside, which is amazing. But Ding Junhui, I think he may still have a little bit left. He was very keen to see whether Mark could get past the green. I don't think he can, to play this red near the right corner. And just the fact that the player is looking and hoping that he's not left a chance makes you think that he still believes that he can win this. But obviously the next couple of frames very important. As long as you can keep your opponent 2 away from that winning line, you feel as though you can make an odd mistake, but once they get within 1 frame, it's very hard. But he has covered the red.
Not the best safety shot from Mark Selby now, and he's left a chance of a pot here for Ding Junhui.
Yeah, nice pot. He's tight to the cushion, but just dropping the blue in will leave him on this red near the right corner. And now, of course, he'll be looking for an angle on the black.
6.
This is the last of the loose reds. Only that awkward red on the right-hand side of the table, which will not be interesting. Ding Junhui in this shot. Just leave a good angle on the black.
Seven.
Maybe a little bit lower than you'd like, but it's the perfect angle to go into the edge of the reds, which is the best way to go. But you must pay due care and attention to the pot.
Yeah, sometimes you can just take your eye off the pot. You're hitting it with a lot of force. Make sure the black first. How's your look? At first glance, not very good. That's unlucky.
14.
I mean, he's hit it with enough pace that you would think that he'd have a shot of some sort.
Yeah, unlucky. I think the red that's closest to the cue ball may go to the far left corner pocket. I think it just passes the pink, but can't play. It's fraught with danger. So just having to resort to the safety, as well as having to play well.
14.
He needs the run of the balls just to change a little bit to help him. Not had it so far. You might have heard then Mark Selby say, good shot. That tells us feels he's in a spot of bother here. He can't see a safety. Just over a minute and getting longer to decide what to play. It's that red near the left middle that is the danger ball. How can he cover a path to that?
Well, I just put up a line here. It's possible he could just come off the left-hand side cushion and try and nestle into the bottom of the pack of reds. Well, he's got to be very delicate with that particular shot. If he slips by the pack, he could leave the red closest to the pink on the right hand side. So he's, but it's just a one cushion escape. I mean, it doesn't look that difficult.
Yeah, the only problem I've seen, if you hit that red and you just didn't hit it full, you could leave a red to the far left corner. I think that's what will worry him. He's looked a couple of times at these two reds on the right hand side cushion and whether he could just nestle up to one of them and get the cover, but he'd have to be so delicate with the shot. Anything a little bit too hard would leave a red to the left middle. Coming up to 2.5 minutes now.
Yeah, this is another alternative off that side cushion and try and nestle in that side of the pack of reds. That's why he's having a look at now. If he nestles on that red at the bottom of the pack, will he be leaving the one that you suggested? And that's what he was afraid of. One to the left centre and the one to the right centre, John.
Yep. He had to hit it absolutely perfect. So when he said good shot to Ding Junhui, he meant it. Now can Ding Junhui take advantage? Oh, just caught the near jaw. Just caught the near jaw. Didn't go in that clean. Just caught the near jaw, but it was enough to catch the pocket. In these instances, you've got to forget the score line and just take one ball at a time.
7. 8.
There's this frame and one more before the mid-session interval. Just got to hang on in there.
$13. 14. 19.
Just having a look. I think he'll play for the blue, but he may even elect to play for the green. The only reason I'm suggesting that, well, he has played for the blue, but because the pink is separated slightly from the reds, it's not an automatic hit the pink and the pink will open the reds. That's why I thought maybe green and come into the side of them. But he's played the blue. I don't think there's a red in that cluster of 6 in between pink and black that is available. But as I say, with that pink being separated, it's not a formality to open them up. Well, he played on the side. That red needs to bounce, and it has done. Judged the cannon perfectly, controlled it. 25. Good shot.
Yeah, he played it lovely. He didn't go into the pink as you suggested because he could have lost the cue ball. Just judged it, passed by the pink and into the couple of reds. The side of that bunch, and that's brought them in lovely. Nice
26.
angle on the black now. We can go into the pack of 4. He'll still be on the red. That's closest to the left corner pocket. Slightly hampered. Could have done with that cue ball. Just
33.
separating itself from the red a little more and giving him the possibility to just cue it freely.
Yeah, he couldn't do much with the cue ball, but as it turned out, he's kept the white away from the side cushion. There's a little bit of pressure on this black. Just got to roll it in. Normally, wouldn't be, but this is the World Championship, and he's playing catch-up.
Can you make that the last foam we're here tonight, please?
That's all you need, a pressure pot to play. Right in the heart of the pocket, well played, and he's nicely on the red.
Great
41.
pot under the circumstances. Just a couple more pots away to get his first frame on the board this evening. This has been good stuff from Ding
42.
Junhui.
49.
So this pink now
50.
will put him 70 points ahead with just 67 remaining. Well played, Ding Junhui. Particularly after losing such a
56.
close last frame. This is an excellent reply, showing a lot of character here.
57.
Yeah, you asked me at the start of the frame what I thought he's left, and when he got the snooker behind the green, and the way he looked to see if he'd covered the red near the right corner pocket, that showed me a man that is still up for this, and he's still
63.
looking to play good safety and take his chances. I mean, he has been questioned in the
64.
past about temperament. Now, whether we credit Terry Griffiths with it, I don't know, but he's certainly shown great temperament so far in this World Championship.
Yeah, absolutely. No more so than in this final, particularly when he was 6-0 down. He's still out there, and he
67.
still believing, and that's a great sign.
68.
And as you said, John, as long as you can keep your opponent where he needs 2 frames, you always feel that you have some sort of a chance.
73.
Well, the red didn't go in, it didn't make the century, but it will certainly please him a lot to get his first frame on the board tonight. He closes the gap to 4, but it's still Mark Selby who leads Ding Junhui by 16 frames to 12. He certainly is still fighting. He's shown a lot of character out there. And particularly when there's so much pressure, of course. This is his first final. Mark Selby has already had his hands on that wonderful trophy. There you see Mark Selby's name. 2014. Stuart Bingham. 2015, of course. The defending champion. And there's that beautiful lady on the top of the trophy, John.
Pushed the red to the corner, but well, it may be cuttable. There she is. It's funny when you see the pictures of Joe Davis when he had it all those years ago. You know, it's the same trophy, isn't it?
Yeah, 1927, I think it dates back to.
Yep. Good pot from Ding. Needs a good kiss. That's not a bad one. He's on the yellow.
Yeah, that's an interesting spectator from the Star Snooker Academy, Tep Choya. Who knew? Here supporting Ding, I'm sure. Practice partner. And
oh, missed the yellow. Now he wants to miss position.
Ding Junhui 1.
And he may well have done. So that little rub of the green just favoured him there.
nice little smile from Ding.
think could just roll into these reds here. And then after a couple of shots, they may look at one another and have a re-rack. It's got re-rack written all over it. I can't see a path back to balk unless it's touching. Is it touching?
Touching ball.
No re-rack.
Nicely judged, but I'm sure it's a touching ball.
Touching ball.
Is this the type of situation, John, that you really don't want to snooker your opponent here? If you can put the cue ball just up in the jaws of the green pocket or even up towards the yellow pocket, it sort of forces your opponent to play the safety shot off the pack of reds, where a red might come out and you might have an opportunity. So really, you don't really want to be snookering your opponent here.
Yeah, you just need a good cue ball. I couldn't agree with you more. Personally, I'd be leaving the cue ball near the yellow pocket. And if you got it tight, as you say, if he snookers him, it's quite an easy escape. There's such a big target. Well, this time he's not played. He's trying to leave it in the jaws of the pocket. And that's going to be awkward cueing. The only reason I suggested the other side, there's the yellow and green on this right-hand side he could get behind, whereas the other side, he'd have to be swinging it round off a couple of cushions.
Yeah, good point now. Just watch the pack of reds here. If he plays off the side of him, he's got to be careful he doesn't knock a red towards the left-hand corner pocket.
And I always feel with this shot, be careful of a bump on the middle pocket. Oh, but he's played this well. Oh, he's got the plan. But look at where the cue ball would have finished. Well, but the red going in was a bonus, but a marvellous cue ball.
Engine away one.
That was a good Yorkshire sound, wasn't it then? Good lad.
Good lad.
Yeah, Mark, just have a look at this red near the top cushion to the right of the black, because the black's not available. The red near the black isn't available, so he doesn't see this as too risky, as long as he doesn't run across the face of it and leave this red on. He'll be looking to nestle into, oh, he's short, is he? He's, oh, and that's the worst way to be short, because he's left a sitter on. He's left a sitter to the left corner. Couldn't be short.
One. Six.
Oh,
Seven.
needs to go. A bit tentative, that one. Wanted to be top side of the blue again. A slight angle to take the cue ball in and out of balk, but it's not easy to get on his next available red.
But doesn't it just show you've got to keep your wits about you all the time? The one thing he needed there desperately was a good angle on the blue. He's come nicely on the red, just got down and played the red. Should have given it a little bit more thought. Can he miss the yellow here, running round? Well, he decided to check it, and I'll tell you what, that just shows you the skill of this young man. 12. He may be okay. He may be able to play the red along the cushion. the way he checked it. Tons of right-hand side. Very clever. Played it well. And this time, well, has just got a slight angle on the blue. Whether it's enough or not, it's hard to say.
Yeah, just past the blue line, but whether he can force the cue ball down to his next red. Now he's just making sure of the pot.
I'm just wondering if he spotted anything in the cluster. Well, no, because he's looking at the
80.
The red that's sticking out. He's played a few of these in this tournament, and he's very good at fine cuts. I've seen him play quite a few. And there's another one. There's another one.
90.
Needs a bounce. He got a bounce. Well, he needs a lot of side on this.
You
Spin
turn
it
these
round
off,
after
please.
two cushion. It needs to hurry. He's not on it. Well, has he
21.
spotted something in the pack? Is there a plant to
Do we know what that is?
the right middle? Referee Paul Collier trying to work out his... Well, that could be a plant to the middle, but it begs the question, where does the colour come from? I think it's on.
Extremely risky though, isn't it?
Well, particularly if you're not certain to be on a colour. Is he going to force the cue ball through the pack of reds? Well done, but is he on a colour? Not quite.
What a shot. What a shot. What a shot to take on at this stage. Trying to force the cue ball up towards the blue. Just have a look at how much power he had to get into the cue ball to try and force it through those reds. Lots of top spin.
Ding Junhui 22.
Didn't want the double kiss, obviously. He wanted a good cue ball. He's left Mark Selby a chance of a pot, which is the last thing he wanted to do. A little cluster of 4, just below the pink. He's not looking at the 2 on the left-hand side of the table as he looks. I think the one just at the bottom of the cluster of 4, he feels it may be a guide, hits it, pots it to the right corner. Ooh, and he wasn't far away.
Well, I think he's covered it, but I think Junhui can play the plant. Yeah.
1.
Bit too much pace. Wanted a red to the
6.
left centre. May have to take it into the yellow pocket, but the problem arises that the cue ball will be going towards that left centre pocket.
Yes, and with the cue ball being so close to cushion, there's not a lot he can do. He can't widen the angle. So he's got to judge. Is it in off? Or does he have to play this red to the middle? He's playing it to the middle. He's played it well.
7.
Played it very well, but unfortunately it's a bit too straight on the green. Just having a look at the blue. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball. He's looking at trying to get on the red, just to the right of the black.
I was going to say, I don't like that choice, mainly because the yellow was hampering him. He's got the cue power to screw back off the green. Where's the cue ball going? Well, a lot closer to the middle pocket than he was expecting. He was playing to
10.
bring the cue ball on the other side of the middle pocket there. Okay, he may not be on anything, but he's got a 38-point lead to protect.
Dings in weight 10.
A little bit short of pace. But he's got the upper hand, and Mark Selby knows that he cannot afford to leave one more chance, otherwise this frame will have gone.
Good line with the cue ball, but he's left this red on. And I'm sure he can pot this and avoid the kiss on the black and the red close to the top cushion. He certainly can, and he's played it again very, very well indeed. Nicely controlled. Just managed to miss the black and red. Excellent shot.
Yes, just one good positional shot now off the blue will set up a frame winning opportunity for certain, but digging down, you've got to cue these nicely, don't take the blue for granted. Got into it a little bit too much, but he'll settle for the outcome. Just a slight raise of the hand to Mark.
6.
That's not exactly as he played it.
Seven.
So there's pink and one more red. Mid-session interval after this frame. This red
30.
to go 52 ahead with just 51 remaining. Well played.
14.
Made certain of the red, I don't blame him for that. But now he'll be concentrating hard on the pink. There's only one snooker needed, and we've seen how these frames have been turned on the head. But in goes the pink. There'll be no return to the table for Mark Selby.
This has been brilliant, John. Brilliant response from Ding
20.
Junhui.
Yes, Ken, and that's all you can do in these
21.
situations is make your opponent realise that you're not going to go away. He's going to have to win it. He's not going to give it him.
Don't give it to him easy. And he could have been forgiven for his head to drop, particularly after losing that
27.
second frame, but he's come back into this match
28.
and still in with a fighting chance of his first world title. He's not going to give it up easy. It's good to see.
Yeah, every credit.
35. 36. $43. 45.
The brown obviously is a problem. He may play a run through here and try and disturb the brown, knock it towards the corner. No. Oh, he'd have hit it hard, really.
48.
Got the cannon. But he'll be just dying now to get to the dressing room. He's still in the match.
52.
Some big frames coming up, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll go to the mid-session interval, and
57.
Ding's cup of tea will certainly taste very nice indeed.
63.
Well played. Very well played indeed. His head could have dropped after Mark Selby won the second frame of the evening. When Ding had his chance in a couple of rolls, he would have won it. But he didn't let his head drop. And he's won the next 2 frames. They go into the mid-session interval. He's still 3 behind. But I believe that he believes he's still got a chance.
Very good evening, Hazel. And welcome back to this, the final session in the 2016 Betfred World Championship. And Ding Junhui, to win the last 2 frames, showed an awful lot of class.
Thank you. Frame 30. Mark Selby to break.
And those last 2 frames that Ding Junhui won, he won them in style breaks of 73 and 70. Can he keep it going? The cue ball's close to the corner. This Crucible crowd really have got behind the Chinese player. They want to see a comeback. Mark Selby's got a terrific support here, going for his 2nd world title. And there's that beautiful shot as we zoom in from the back of the Crucible. Oh, much too thin. That was a nervy one. Is the blue going to come to his rescue? It has. Very fortunate there. It's unusual for him to hit a shot so poorly, but he got away with it. He's got a slight problem here, Mark Selby. Desperately trying to get to that figure 17, where he'll then just need 1 more frame. You always feel as long as your opponent needs 2 frames, you're in with a chance. So just off the side cushion after giving it almost a minute thought time. Is that going to reach? Yeah, of course it is. Might be able to take this pot on. He's just coming around to have a look at the angle. No problem getting the white back to the safety area. I mentioned those 2 breaks that Ding made, but he made a 60 break to lose the frame before, so that's saying a lot about his character, that he could come back from that.
Yeah, I think it's been a great feature of Ding's character in this whole World Championship. Whenever he's lost a frame that he could have won, or he's had disappointment, he's always come back strongly. I think in his first round, he lost a frame when his opponent needed 2 snookers to go 8-6 down, and he came back and won 4 frames in a row to win the match. So he's been much stronger mentally at this World Championship than he has been in previous years. Chance here.
It's okay. There's a red at the back of the bunch that's available here if he just drops the blue in. Show you that long pot again, and the side take him round onto the blue. Got very little to do with this, just drop the blue in.
He actually played for the red to the right, the pink there, but
6.
because that would have been a better red to get on the black and get that on its spot immediately. He's come too far.
Seven.
I think he can get on that red you mentioned, Stephen, this time. He's just having a look to see if another one will pass. Excuse me. Into the corner pocket. He was hoping to be on this red in such a way that he could play for the black. Might still be able to do that. Very well played indeed. And all of a sudden, with that one cannon, he has developed quite a bit of the game here.
First
21.
Loose reds, but he may go into the bunch here. Maybe not at so much pace, but just to maybe bring another 1 or 2 reds. He's guaranteed to be in something to the right corner. It's just landed. He's stuck on that red. Has he got one to the right centre, I wonder?
28.
Yeah, he's having a long, hard look at that one. And if he's on that, that would be much better. Must be very tight, though. Well played.
39.
Well, this is terrific stuff here from Ding Junhui. It really is.
Yeah, Dennis, it's break building of the highest quality. The way he's just bringing reds into play with every shot. Slowly but surely turning into an opportunity to win this frame.
$35. $36.
Another good angle to once again just cannon some reds out. He's got that one next to the cue ball as a little bit of insurance.
Well, that's gone wrong. It's got
43.
into the cue ball far too much there.
These cutbacks are very difficult. You're cutting it back into a blind pocket. You're looking away from the pocket, your eye line. Played well though.
44.
It was so interesting listening to Steve Davis, Barry Hearn with Hazel and talking about
51.
history and all the things that have happened at the Crucible.
52.
There's another bit of history still on the cards here. Ding Junhui aiming to be the first Asian player to lift a world title. And the way he's playing here, he's far from out of this final.
59. $60.
So 60 in front. He's not that many pots away from securing this very important frame. And this could be the key shot to winning it.
Could not
65.
fit them better. And the only thing that could go wrong here, if he's playing this red to the right corner, if he misses the cannon on the red that's to the left of the black and snookers himself, he could land on nothing.
Is it worth risking that, Stephen, or just playing around for the pink or blue rather than playing a delicate little shot? He's not that many pots away from winning the frame.
Yeah, you're probably right at this stage. Play the percentage shot, guarantee yourself position in the next colour. But the only problem is if you think it's a natural angle, you're very tempted to play it. And he's not, is he playing a bottom spin?
Top spin, so he may get the cannon. And he's played it perfectly.
66.
Played it plain ball, took the risk, and got the cannon that you mentioned, Stephen. And now he just needs this black. Doing it in style again is Ding Junhui.
73. $74.
If he goes on to make a century here, it'll be his 15th, just 1 century behind Stephen Hendry.
81.
And it will equal last year's record if he makes it, 86. Under these circumstances, 82. This is superb.
$89.
Well,
90.
Got quite a big bounce off the cushion there. Come on, keep coming. Come on. Well done. Only problem is he hasn't finished nicely on the red.
97.
Can he cut this in? The white's going to go near the middle pockets. Get in there. What a shot that was.
98.
What a fantastic century break from Ding Junhui. And don't this Crucible crowd just love that.
103.
Equaled last year's record of 86 century. Doesn't matter about the red. Let's get them up for the next frame. Mark Selby knows that he's playing a man who's playing out of his skin at the moment. That's 3 in a row, and with that century break, he closes the gap to 16-14.
Time and time again, Mark Selby has produced his best. The closer we have got to the finish line, will it be the same right now?
That is the question, Hazel. We've seen Mark Selby do it so many times before. When he's put under severe pressure, it's amazing the number of times he's responded, but this is no ordinary match. Final of the World Championship, Crucible Theatre looking for his second, Ding looking for his first. Doesn't get better than this. And a good break off to start with here. This needs a very thin contact. He could go into the pocket here with the cue ball. He's got the thin contact. That's a very good shot. Well, that's opened the reds up somewhat. He's coming up a little bit short, but it certainly spread those reds. He hasn't left anything on, but now means that whoever makes a mistake could leave his opponent in with a good chance. It's been all Ding Junhui for the last 3 frames. He's only needed the 1 chance. And Mark Selby will be well aware of that. He'll be trying to keep it as tight as possible now. There's the safety success rate. Mark Selby just ahead, but Ding has played some superb tactical snooker as well as knocking in frame-winning breaks. That was all he could do there. It just means that Mark has got an easy return back to the safety area. I think he can get past the blue to snick the red. It's very tight, but I think he can just see an edge. Just about. Got to be a little bit careful now that he doesn't send a red towards the left corner pocket. His target will be to try and get the white down towards the brown. You play it as if you're trying to get a cannon onto the brown. You might get in behind it. Always hit it too thin. Well, this will be a bonus. Not quite. Just developing into a bit of an awkward frame here. And I suppose Mark Selby won't mind that one little bit after watching Ding Junhui win 3 in a row with 1 chance.
Yeah, especially if we get a red. I think travels next to that black. You see the time since Mark's potted anything, almost an hour. That's a long time in a final session to go without potting. Yeah, I came in and looked at that, that's an excellent shot. Okay, it's maybe a 2 out of 20 shot, but he played it.
It's always worth attempting that, but it's highly unlikely that you get it. But he got a good cue ball, and the fact that he did get it can put Ding Junhui in even more trouble here. Mind, he's not in a great deal of trouble, but the way the reds are, if he rolls up behind the yellow, there's an escape off the right side of the table. to those reds behind the black spot, because
Yellow ball.
they're all a little awkward.
Mark Selby, 1.
Tried to block off the path down the right side, but I think if Ding goes somewhere near the middle pocket, he can land on the red that he's queuing at there. I'm nearly sure he can get to that. Just below the middle pocket somewhere, and I think he can just nestle on that. He's played a few good shots like this. I think it's there for him.
To the left middle. If it's dead straight, he can actually follow through and it'd be the only red he could leave. I think if he follows the cue ball on that line. Although he's looking up at the bulkhead, so obviously he doesn't fancy it.
Yeah, I think when you haven't potted the ball for nearly an hour, Stephen, it's not very inviting, is it? But yeah, it's the sort of shot that players would take on, but he's keeping it tight here. Keeping the white in the jaws of the pocket over there blocks off the safety shot down the right side of the table, and with the black and red the left side, it's awkward to get a good safety here. This is a thin one he's looking at, very thin one. Caught it a bit on the thickish side. So that last shot from Mark Selby left it very awkward for Ding, and now a chance for Mark to pot his first ball for over an hour. He did put the plant in, I suppose that was the thing. Amazing, and not only has he missed it, look where the reds come to, so there are little signs here, Stephen, that things are turning around in this final.
No, that wasn't a very good hit at all. That was a nervous hit.
One.
It's easy to see who's the most comfortable out there at the moment. It's the man in the red waistcoat. It's all about momentum in these long matches, and at the moment, Ding's got it. Yeah, sure.
Yes, the man in the red waistcoat, he's been wearing that for quite a while, and it was the great Tiger Woods who always played on the final day in red.
Seven.
Well, this is a little awkward. He'll need the rest here because he's got to lean over the reds there. And he's got to get a little bit of action in this to get back onto a red. That was the problem. He had to force it in to get position.
Ding Junhui, 7.
Just put it on the left jaw there. But of course the blue's gone safe and the pink's out of commission at the moment. So there's an easy starter, but not a great deal available.
One.
two reds that are just to the left of the black spot. The one red that's just above those pots to the right corner, that's the one he'd love to get on. If he's played to bring the pink out, that was an excellent choice of shot. He's all right. At least he's landed on a red. That was a good try. He hit that beautifully.
It was the pace he played it at, and he almost brought the pink and red into play.
The only problem with playing for the black, he wants to have an angle on it, but if he plays for an angle in the black, that red that's just up the left-hand side cushion, he's liable to be hampered by that one, so straight is not good on the black. Maybe he can play a cannon on that red. Oh, he's just brushed it.
5.
Well, that's where he'd like to get the cue ball after potting the black in there, but he's going to need the extension on his cue and the long rest. Okay, he doesn't have to force this too much, but you've still got to be very accurate with it. Just come in behind that red there that's just to the left of the two that are closest to this back cushion. It's got to give it full concentration here for both parts of this shot. No. Put the black straight onto the near jaw. Didn't get the white anywhere near where he wanted it.
Again, that was a nervy one, wasn't it? Very tentative. Even if he potted the black, it was nowhere near strong enough. So a little bit worrying times for Mark Selby and his supporters.
We're going to have one of those very tense affairs here, the way the balls have gone. Who's going to make the first mistake in this safety exchange? Just concerned about flicking a red over the right corner pocket. Hit that a bit thick. He hasn't played a good safety shot, but what a tester for Ding Junhui here. Black's over the pocket. The only problem, looking at the angle there, if he plays a little stun shot, he'd have to find the gap. If he plays it plain ball, he might be able to avoid the red and the pink there. It's all about the pot here, that's for sure. And that was close. And now it's a better chance for Mark Selby if this red passes the pink. As we show you the red wobble in the jaws, but it must be pretty tight. Oh, that tells you how close that was. Well, that red certainly doesn't go, but he might be able to get to the one that's 2 behind the pink. As we just come around with the camera, it shows you that maybe you can just see enough of the potting angle. He's concerned about the cue ball, but I think he's also concerned about missing the previous red into this same pocket. I think you find the angle where he's pointing the cue. If he pots it, he wants to just find the path between the red and the black. Couldn't have played it better. He gave it an awful lot of thought, but it's worked out perfect, and he's got an angle on the black here to please himself. He can go cannoning into the reds and bring quite a few of them into play. And that's what he's looking at there. He could clear the black spot area. He's got all sorts of choices available to him. And he's picked the wrong one. Tried to be very precise there.
8. Well, he's played the red closest to the black spot, but he's caught that red first, that other one, and that's ruined position. That could have been a frame winning opportunity if that went right there. He could have played, as you say, Dennis, a lot more pace into the 4 reds that's around the cue ball here, but he chose to play the exact positional shot.
Mark
This
Selby,
could be long.
8.
Yeah, sometimes when you're trying to be so precise, that can happen, but he had a great angle on the black just to scatter everything here. Look at that. If he stunned that in, those 4 reds, he probably would have moved the red that he tried to anyway, and he would have opened everything up. We've got a little bit of a stalemate here at the moment.
Touching ball, both reds.
Touching both reds. So, I mean, if he moves one of the reds, it's a foul shot. So he can't do much with this. The referee, Paul Collier, will have to keep an eye on this one. Well, what was he? See, if any of those reds move, it's a foul shot.
I have no idea what he's playing here, Dennis.
Oh. whatever it was, it worked, because he'll never have been in that position before. I can assure you, touching two reds like that. It's nice to see Ding Junhui smiling. When he came on the scene, you could never get a smile out of him. He's a changed lad. He's a smashing lad. I was in Hainan about 4 years and went out with him and his sponsors. There was about a dozen of us went out for a meal, and he was a delight to sit by. And his English has improved so much.
Well, he obviously is able to get the cue ball back to the bulkhead. That's why he's up there looking at where he wants to leave it. I think Ding probably came over and asked him for a re-rack, but Mark blanked him.
As I say, Mark doesn't mind this after the barrage of breaks that Ding Junhui has thrown at him. He's not bothered about having a tactical frame here. And this is close to getting in behind the brown. What an effort this is. Oh, he's hit that far too thin. And he's still smiling. But what he is doing, he's sitting upright in the seat, and I'm sure Terry Griffiths has worked on that with him, because I remember saying to Ding, though, 4 years ago, he used to get slumped in these chairs, Stephen, and I said, Ding, you know, don't show your opponent, you know, you're slumping in the chair, sit upright. All to do with positive thinking and keeping yourself positive.
One.
Bounced too far. It may have. It may have.
Well, that's enough. On the practice table, you could easily put a bit of left-hand side on and pot that black, but far too much at stake in this frame. But at the moment, he's struggling to buy a positional shot, Mark Selby. He's had 2 or 3 decent chances in this frame already.
Yeah, that last shot was a pretty straightforward positional shot. He had quite a margin for error and just overdone it, as we just show you.
Green ball.
Just bounced a bit too far.
Mark Selby, 1.
It's all right, keeping things tight, but you've got to take those chances, and he's not doing it at the moment, Stephen.
No, and every time he comes to the table and doesn't take an opportunity, he's just giving Ding more encouragement.
That'll do nicely. That will do very nicely. That's a stroke of good fortune there, because he left a couple of pots on, but now that he's tight in next to the blue, it's very difficult. There's little things starting to happen out there, Stephen.
Yeah, Mark is showing his annoyance at that, but you've had chances, Mark, to win this frame. Sometimes if you don't take them, the balls don't forgive you and you get punished. was very fortunate.
And I don't think he can come off the cushion or roll to the red to the right there. That's nearest to the right corner pocket, because those 3 reds near the black, I think at least one of them's available along the cushion. So he's got a problem here.
Those 3 reds behind the black, if the top one doesn't pop, I think he's just got to go for this red to the left corner and just play it dead weight. It's the only one he can leave. If he gets the cue ball somewhere near that corner pocket, I think that's about as safe as he's going to get it. He's looking to see if he leaves the cue ball there, and one of these 2 reds cuttable to the right corner. If he does get it, he's going to be on the black. It'll be some shot.
That is awkward. What a shot!
One. Pot of the night. Definitely.
And I mean, to strike over the blue and hit the white in the centre to give himself a chance of potting that. We seen earlier one shot of the championship. That would have been up there. And was an escape shot that give him the shot of the championship. Oh, he's missed the cannon as he intended. He's still got a pot on, but he wanted that cannon a lot fuller.
8.
Yeah, this was that cannon he played. He had to make sure the black and just caught the pink rather than the red fuller. Should be okay here though. I say he should be okay. It looks as if he can take this on and find a gap between the black and reds, but the longer you take over the shot, sometimes the more difficult it becomes. He should have got down straight away and played the correct shot.
Mark Selby, 8.
And he thought about it, and then when he eventually played it, he hit it all wrong. He could have left something easier than this. I mean, it's as if he's trying a little bit too hard at the moment to get to 17 frames on the board, where he'll just need 1 to win. But he could have left something easier than this. Might just be able to see enough of this to cut it in. Or he's overcut it. And he's left it. So Mark Selby right back at the table, much quicker than he thought he was going to be. But he was rather fortunate when he overcut that mark and scattered the reds, that he didn't leave something easier.
Yeah, the run of the balls is to and fro, isn't it, in this frame? Ding was fortunate to leave Mark hampered by the blue in the previous shot. Another chance. Not trying to do anything special with the cue ball there, just made sure the pot. A confident Mark Selby, or maybe a less pressurised moment of the match, he'd have played for the pink there. Just desperate to get these 2 frames by whatever means.
Played that with lots of right hand side just to get the cue ball a little bit closer to the red.
4.
Yeah, I think it'll be red to right corner. Stun across past the pink for the black to the same pocket. Oh, he doesn't like it. That's the red that I'd fancy. That looks the more straightforward positional shot.
That's what he's going to attempt.
May even play pink now. Pink will go in the blue spot.
$11.
He's
12.
just seen the sidebar there, and he's 51 points to lead Dingley in snooker, so there's another 2 reds. This one's obviously straightforward, but the red that's in the open will only pot to the left corner.
19.
So if he's screwing back for the black, he must finish slightly high on the black.
I think every shot he's playing here, Mark, he's making ultra sure because he knows the importance of this frame. And it's worked to his advantage. It was an awkward frame the way the balls went. We've been going now nearly 35 minutes, and it was just what Mark wanted, really. Because Ding Junhui was flying breaks of 73,
20.
70, 103, but it was just the way the balls went at the start of this frame.
Well, he's not played a good shot there. He decided he couldn't get the right angle on the black, so played with lots of right-hand side, but he hasn't got past the pink, or past the line of the pink. Here, we'll show you now. Dead straight. So he's not going to get in that red to left corner from here. He'd have to play a trick shot off the left knuckle as he looks out of the middle pocket. Is he going to try that? Surely not at this stage of the match, no.
Mark Selby, 20.
Well, decided not to take the 6 extra points and just push the pink into a safer position.
I think I'd have taken the 6 points, Dennis, and maybe played a safety. .42 up with 3 reds is a pretty decent lead.
Yeah, it would have meant he only needed 1 red and a colour to make absolutely sure. That's not bad. That's a pretty good shot from Ding there.
Can everybody please make sure their phones are on silent?
Might be playing a shot to nothing here, red to right corner. No, I thought he came around to look at the potting angle. He's not taking any risks at all, Mark Selby.
Yeah, he's in a strong position in this frame. That 36-point advantage with the blue and the pink as they are is quite a substantial lead. Now, is Ding Junhui going to get a chance to get back into this frame? It's going to be difficult the way Mark Selby has set his stall out here. This is a huge frame in this final. Doesn't really want to bring this red into play, but he may have to because there's no other easy safety shot. So he'll try and knock it into another safe position. Ding would dearly love to get in behind the green here. And I think he can hit this. He may have to play in behind the brown if he's taking this one. Oh, he's hit the pink unintentionally, but it's brought the pink and it's moved the blue.
Yeah, he's caught Ding between wanting to get the reds into the open, but not playing too aggressive a safety shot and leaving a pot on for Mark Selby. Oh, that was a nice little nudge in the blue. Very nice.
It's difficult. He's got the gap there, but can he avoid the black and red if he's going to try and come back round the table? That's the question. Yeah, he's just trying to roll to it. And how delicate was that? I think we'll give the table fitter 10 out of 10 because he played to hit it on that side and that ball ran perfectly straight.
If that cue ball was a little bit further away from the cushion, Mark Selby could play directly into the red. It's closest to the cue ball. Play it firm and both reds would go up to the bulk end of the table. It's a risk though, he doesn't want to bring reds into the open, so he wouldn't play that shot, but it's certainly makes it harder for Ding to score points.
Now if he's going twice across the table to get in behind the brown, the pink's slightly in the way. He's judged as well. And he may be tight in behind the brown. That's another terrific shot. Vicky there, applauding that good shot from her husband. It's nervous times. In fact, it's more nervous for the family than it is for you when you're out there. Oh, look at the swerve. He's going to hit the black.
Foul. And a miss. Mark Selby, 7.
Mark may have this replaced because he was in a tough spot. And it was just the swerve that took the white away from the red and hit the black. But it looked as if he had to hit the red, Stephen. He was going to push it on there.
Yeah, it was almost a better result hitting the black first. Because if he catches the red, if he catches red and black together at that pace, it's going to cost him the frame.
Olivia Martel from Belgium, just directing where the balls were. Let's have a look. That's where they were. Let's have a look now. Oh, it's not bad.
Okay.
Doesn't have to play the same shot again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, he's going to try it. This is risky. And we've got the perfect shot. It's better this time. Terrific. You don't often see a very gentle swerve like that, but he judged it to perfection that time, but could be in a bit of bother again. Looking at the angle, I'm not sure if he can get in behind the green and blue. He can get it to the jaws of the pocket. If he's trying the snooker, he's got to miss the middle pocket. That was about the best he could do from that angle. Ding is faced with a shot here, the full length of the table, and he's got to hit it thin. Mustn't hit this one thick. Well played. This is a terrific shot. A brilliant safety shot. You have the full length of the table to play there with the white near the jaws and the red near the cushion. You won't see a better safety shot than that.
Oh, he's mixed it up so well in every department, Ding Junhui, in this final.
That's too narrow.
Foul and a miss. Ding Junhui 4.
That 39-point advantage could be in a little bit of jeopardy, but the colours are all in play now. He made the readjustment. Just coming up to 47 minutes. Wow, what a shot this would be. That was a risky one, but look where he had the cue ball. He was right on the black. He's left a difficult cut as we show you it again. Wants to touch the cushion there. Very rarely do they go in at that pace. Mark's not even looking at the cut into the middle pocket. He is now. Surely if he cuts that in, he may cannon the yellow and, you know, he'd finish on some sort of colour. It's all about the pot, but he's looking at coming back behind the black here. I'm not sure about that one. He could go off this red and back up behind the green and blue.
Here, Dennis, that red to the right middle definitely looks on. I think you can even avoid pink and yellow and come back down for the black and even play as a kind of shot to nothing.
Yeah, he hasn't taken any risks whatsoever in this long tactical frame, a frame that will get him to 17 and just be one frame away from his second World Championship. Coming up to 1.5 minutes of thinking time. Well, he did attempt the double in the end, but look where he had the cue ball.
So black to right middle to go 47 up with 43 in it. 43 on the table.
I think he's just going to knock the black safe. Well, he's just rolling in behind it, but
Mark Selby won.
has he got the snooker? Has he put himself in trouble here? Maybe he has just got the snooker. Yep, there you see it. See, if he swerves around it and hits the cushion first, he's bound to leave that red that's up near the pink. Have to be so precise. Oh, he stuck them up. Yeah, that red I mentioned. So the roll in behind the black. He thought long and hard, and it was the right shot in the end. And Mark Selby using all his years of experience in this frame. It was an awkward frame. The balls went a bit funny early on, but he just took his time over every single shot.
Eight.
Doesn't matter about the yellow. Ding signals to the referee. He concedes that very long, hard-fought frame that lasted 51 minutes, but Mark Selby, he won't mind that. He's got to the magic 17. He only needs one more for his second world title. He leads 17 frames to 14. Yes, as Hazel said, one more frame needed for Mark Selby to win his second world title. That was, as John Parrott said, a granite frame of snooker played by the world #1. Oh, much too thin, and he's going to leave an early chance for Mark Selby.
It's just about kind of pop this red, hit it cleanly, screw back and get a good angle on the blue. Possibly a little bit more acute angle than it would be perfect, but it can still go into the pink from this. He's okay. He's got a red to the left corner, definitely.
6.
Wow.
7.
I didn't think that was going to fall. That was an edgy one. Have another look at this.
Yeah, had to play the most difficult pot.
Right, can everybody make sure their phones are off now, please? Don't be the idiot that spoils this.
But this is an incredible opportunity, Dennis. This is what you dream of, to win the World Championship, a chance like this. Okay, the black's not available at the moment. But look at the reds.
Yeah, the reds that he put there when he potted the blue and opened up the whole game. If he can get to 69 points, he's going to be world champion for the second time. An awful lot of balls to be potted, though.
Yeah, he played a poor positional shot there. Played for the red next to the pink to the left corner. This can go wrong. No,
13.
The only problem when he pots the pink is that the pink will no longer pot anywhere. So it's not getting any easier, this break.
He looks absolutely shattered last evening, just after midnight. It does take it out of you mentally here at the Crucible. You finish up, it's just adrenaline keeps you going.
But this is what you practice all the hours for.
19.
An opportunity in amongst the balls to win the World Championship.
There's Vicky, his wife. There's Vicky's mum there, who's been looking after their daughter here. They've been up in the Champions Lounge.
Yeah, that's an excellent positional shot there.
And there's Gareth Potts, one of the top pool players in the world. He's going out with Vicky's sister. He's been here for most of the sessions. I think he travels to China with you, Stephen, doesn't he?
Yeah, plays a lot of Chinese 8-ball pool. He'd love to play a cannon. And those little 3 reds to the left of the pink. Oh, is that going wrong? Well, look at his body language. I think he's on a pot.
25.
that's a possible pot to the middle pocket. He flicked the black safe. Can he hold this for the pink? It's a delicate little screw shot that's needed. Just a fraction away from being perfect. Nicely judged. It just means the pink is slightly more difficult now, and he's just running away slightly from the reds. But the last couple of frames he's been taking his time and not rushing into the shot. Doesn't have to even worry about the black.
32.
He's got the pink, and if it goes slightly astray, he's got the blue. It's a fabulous chance here. And Ding Junhui, well, will he get back to the table? That's the question. He has been unbelievable this year, winning 3 qualifying matches to get to the Crucible, and has played so well. The wrong side of the blue.
33.
Looking at the more difficult pink, which will give him better position. Now that last shot has just knocked
39.
a couple of those reds into safe positions. So it's not a straightforward run to the line by any means now.
He's looking determined, though, to get it won in this frame. It's probably his focus as he's looked all night.
Ding Junhui has had some fantastic support from this Crucible crowd, but Mark Selby is a very popular world #1. I think this Crucible crowd wanted to see a comeback, and they did see one from Ding with 3 immaculate frames. And that's a delightful little cannon just to open those 2 reds up.
46.
Well, he's just showing why he is the world #1. He won the last frame with so much tactical and safety play. It looks like he may clinch this world final with this break. Just one more easy red available. He's 53 ahead.
53. $54.
Well, it's still not quite over, but there's a very proud wife there. Will he
60.
get another chance? If Mark Selby was to win this frame and final, it's exactly the score that he beat Ronnie O'Sullivan 2 years ago, 18-14. Almost there for the world number one.
What a feeling this is. As we see him, well, he's just got a position for the first time in this break, but what a feeling it is to be on a break to win the World
67.
Championship. Can't beat it.
You've done it on 7 occasions, Stephen, so no one knows the feeling better than you. It's not a gimme by any means, but it's the one that will give him the title. And it's there. And he points up to his wife, Vicky. And look at that smile. He missed 2 tournaments before the World Championship. He came in under the radar, even though he was world number one, but every credit to Ding Junhui. Everyone back in China can be so proud of the Chinese sensation. He's played a fabulous World Championship. Ding's having a look.
Mark Selby,
He's coming
74.
forward to shake the hand of Mark Selby. What a great final these 2 players have given us. But Mark Selby, for the second time, lifts the world title and he becomes the Betfred World Champion for 2016, winning 18 frames to 14. Congratulations all around.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for 2 fantastic finalists today. And let me offer my commiserations and indeed congratulations to Ding Junhui. Junhui, he knows how to win this, man, but from 6-0 behind, how proud are you of the way you were fighting throughout the last couple of days?
Yes, I had a very bad start, 6-0. I think I couldn't win the frames because I had a bit nervous and started never been to final before, and Mark played well. He win the second frame, it's a big frame, so just sitting down there and just thinking about it, I need to win some, so just go for it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this young man has given us 15 centuries. He's won 7 matches to get here. He's provided some very, very special performances, and you've won an awful lot of fans and a lot of respect. Thank you very much, Ding Junhui. Thank you. And here he is, our champion again, Mr. Selby. Well, you have joined a very select group. You are the 13th multiple world champion. I wonder how good and how special that sounds for you.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic. It was very special to win it 2 years ago for the very first time. I felt a lot more under pressure this year coming here than what I did 2 years ago because I didn't really know what to expect. So just really happy to win, really. But it was a tough final. I mean, Ding's a fantastic player, and the amount of pressure he's under from China alone to even get to the final and play the way he did under that kind of pressure, I can only imagine.
6-0 behind, but yet he got twice within 1 frame of you. And I just wonder how key the 2 frames that you won late last night towards midnight were in establishing that 3-0, that 3-frame lead overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I know I got off to a great start, but first to 18, 6-0 is not a huge lead, especially when you're playing somebody of Ding's class, and he won the last 2 frames of the first session and then showed his class in the next few sessions. And to be fair, the second and third session, I just seemed to be hanging on to him. I mean, he played fantastic this morning, and I come out 5-4, and yesterday I came out 4-all, so just over the moon.
You've admitted a couple of times that you haven't been at your best sometimes throughout this championship. So how have you done it? How have you won once again?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I'll save my best performance for the final. I played well against Marco in the last session, but other than that, it was bitting and bobbing. I probably had 2 good sessions during the tournament, and then played on my B game most of the time, which, thank God, I've got a decent B game to fall back on.
Well, I've got some good news for you, because this is part 2 of a sporting double for your hometown. So my big question is, are you going to let them share your open-top bus?
Well, I didn't get one last time when I won it 2 years ago, so... But, I mean, now they've done fantastic. I mean, just a small city like ours, I mean, to be Premier League champions from where there was last year is a fantastic achievement, and I'd just like to say a big thank you and a big congratulations to Claudio and all the boys at Leicester.
I'm sure they would congratulate you too. Still, you're world #1 and you're world champion once again. I think there's a young lady who's about to give you a very large kiss. Daughter Sophia and wife Vicky, bring them in. Congratulations, Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your presentation party, Fred Doan, boss of Betfred, and the 6-time world champion, Steve Davis. The runner-up receiving a cheque for £137,500 and the silver medal. What a run and what a fortnight. Ding Junhui. And the winner, receiving a cheque for £330,000, the trophy and the title, 2016 Betfred World Snooker Champion, Mark Selby! Once again, your champion, Mark Selby!